You are a great broadcaster. You work for the Coyotes and TSN, amongst others. Great to welcome you to the show.
Thank you, Michael.
Look who's here as well. Coyote broadcaster and a former tough guy. I'm hoping former tough guy, not current tough guy. From the Coyotes as well. Louis DeBrusk, nice to see you, man.
Thanks for having me.
Great to welcome to the show Howie Gordon. You are a Big Brother 6 finalist, and your claim to fame before that was Blind Date and Eliminate, right?
Blind Date and Eliminate. I was the last man standing in Big Brother 6.
And you have a lightsaber with us, which tells us why you need to find dates on television.
Well, they help me. The lightsaber is, it's an intriguing little...
Good to see you. And you're performing at Yuck Yuck, so tell us more about that later on. Adam Proda, I've admired your work on the Hockey News, on hockeynews.com. I've admired your job on this show, but you're going to tell me you're somewhat of a Howie Gordon groupie, aren't you?
I am. I think I love Big Brother. It's my guilty pleasure, and Howie Gordon was the star of the show. He wasn't just a finalist.
That's just humiliating. Okay.
You told me I was the best-looking guy in Big Brother history.
He did say that, too. I'm worried about Adam.
I heard Crosby's season.
I'm really worried about
Sidney
Adam.
Crosby's got 2 levels. Statistics, amazing. He's going to have an all-time rookie year. But who here is concerned about the other stuff? About stories that the veterans can't stand him, about a team that won't stand up for him, and about a team that even the coach says is gutless?
I'm very concerned for him, and you didn't even mention the referees. I mean, Sidney Crosby's got a reputation with the refs early in the year as well for complaining too much. This is a kid that's obviously very talented, but he's got some stuff to work out.
He does. He does, too, but it's all about the leadership that you have inside the locker room as well. I think this might be a little bit, we might be maybe overplaying this a little bit. Stories get out there and it gets a little bit larger than life.
But you know what? When you're talking about a guy who's telling older veteran players where they should be on the ice and how they should be here in certain points, if that's the rumors, that's overstepping the bounds.
He's 18 years old. There's hot chicks in the stands. His mind's not completely on hockey yet. Don't blame the guy. What are you guys doing at 18? Come on.
You know what? This guy's been the center of attention now for, what, 5 years now, ever since he stepped foot into any publicized hockey rink. Yeah. Everyone's known about this kid. He comes into Pittsburgh. He's taking over the team really right now. Everyone says, well, he's the center of attention lately. He's been the center of attention for the last 2 years.
Is that a good thing? You did a good job sort of recapping his history, where he is right now. But if you're a veteran on that team, are you looking at Mark Recchi and John LeClaire and guys like that and saying, I don't know, the kid may be great, but he's got to keep acting like a kid until he's a veteran?
Well, go ahead.
That's the way you're going to answer for Louis. You know what I'm going to say, Darren? That man can answer for himself. Let's let Louis answer.
And he's tougher
you're
than I am.
Still answering.
He's tougher than you are, too.
Let's face it, he's having the time of his life, right? He's playing the National Hockey League. Obviously, this has been his goal his whole life. Steps to the National Hockey, he's having great success. Obviously, the team is not having the success that he would like it to have. He's a frustrated guy right now.
And that's crucial.
He's competitive. He wants to win. He's an emotional guy. Mark Messier from the Edmonton Oilers back then, this guy used to go off the handle all the time. You watch him, he break sticks over people, put his hands in the air. I mean, this is what hockey's all about.
But it's crucial. If the Penguins were winning right now, we wouldn't be hearing any of this stuff, right? It's the perfect storm of what happened to them with the arena with Mario.
But if we're hearing all this stuff, guys, we're hearing this out, and it's out there. When does Mario step in here and become a little bit more involved in guiding this a little bit?
Or
he's obviously living at his place.
Darren, when does Mario step out of this? I mean,
in terms of the whole picture?
Just in terms of the whole mix and being a player and being an owner. Don't you think that that's eventually going to have a disruptive influence? Like that, to me, is not a good recipe.
No, this whole thing is it was set up to be a perfect scenario. Perfect place to be. Pittsburgh Penguins, Mario Lemieux's going to live there. They brought in some veteran players. Ed Olczyk was the coach, a guy that gets along with everybody. And now you've got Michel Therrien, dripping with sarcasm in everything he says. Right now, it's got to be fixed.
It was the perfect scenario before, now it's the perfect storm. I mean, it's everything
Crosby's
coming together at once.
He's 18, he's good, but you still got to respect your elders. He's got to pay his dues.
Absolutely.
It's a good point.
Ottawa Senators, beaten last night 2-0. Losers, I believe, of 4 of their last 6 games. They're only at .500 right now when you look at 1- and 2-goal games. Hasek says it's a problem. Let me ask you guys this. Is there a problem with Ottawa, or is this all about injuries?
I don't think there's a real problem there myself. I think that they still have a very, very solid team. It's a team that everyone's kind of love to criticize a little bit. They're a very underachieving team, if you want to say that.
Especially Toronto people.
Yeah, especially Toronto people.
Well, I mean, there is a legitimate side to that, which
Ottawa.
is...
Well, you're from Ottawa.
Yeah,
so let me ask a little one-on-one, you and I. Do they have a problem? Are the Senators your favorites in the East right now?
Absolutely. No questions asked.
Better than Philly? Philly's responded to injuries a lot better than Ottawa has.
Better than Philadelphia.
Wow.
I'll take Dominic over Niedermaki in a 7-game playoff series right now.
Well,
and I'll take Zdeno Chara on the blue line over anybody that Philadelphia.
And I'll take Peter Forsberg over Daniel Alfredson.
I got to ask you the story, Darren. You were pulled out.
That's the one thing I'm questioning is the softness maybe of some of the players that haven't been there. Not Alfredson, but you've got guys like Spezza hasn't been there before. Marty Havlat hasn't been there before.
Howie Gordon,
they're a lot grittier
tell me what you're up to right
now.
now.
Is different than they were in the past.
What am I doing? Oh, what am I doing right now?
Yeah, I don't mean on the show right now. I mean,
I know. I'm bringing on my boy Darren.
But
I'm making a lot of appearances. I'm doing some Yuck Yuck comedy next week here in Toronto.
And you got a lightsaber with
I'm
you.
working.
What the hell's
I'm
that
the
for?
spokesperson for Master Replicas Lightsabers. Go to HowieGordon.com. Get as many lightsabers as you want. Purple, green, red, blue. And I'm doing the Jedi thing. I was on 101 Greatest TV Show Moments and living off my 15 minutes of fame.
See if you can give us one of those great moments when we return. Let's talk hockey lingo. Chirp's a word for insult, right? A bucket's a helmet. A puck's a biscuit. And I'm going to add one more. Put it in the dictionary. Milbury means idiot. The man traded Bertuzzi and McCabe for Linden. He dealt Chara and Spencer for Yashin. Can anyone on this set answer the question, how did he survive for a decade?
Mike Milbury's been the architect of a lot of winning teams. They just haven't been his own, and that's been the real problem the whole time.
He sets it in motion.
He does. He does. Well, and again, it's something where, you know, in another market, in a Toronto market or a market where hockey was really in the fore, he wouldn't have lasted that long, plain and
He
simple.
played for Boston. They hated the Islanders. They hated the Rangers. They hated Montreal. How does a guy like Mike, who's a bright man, how does he end up with the New York Islanders? It's the ownership. Charles Wang, he obviously trusted him and likes the other. But any one of the former great New York Islanders could have fouled this up as badly as Mike Milbury. Why is there not one of the great former New York Islanders?
So what you're saying is if
heading
you're
up
going
the
to find a
shop?
guy to screw it up, stay within your
Why
family,
not?
right?
I mean, it's almost like Mike Milbury went in there, and every mistake he made. There was 2 playoffs ago I ran into him, and Mike's a great guy. He did some work for ESPN when I was there, and he says, "You believe I'm still here?" and you know, he's not stupid. He gets it. I don't know what he was.
Oh, he
why
can
he's
still be
there.
stupid. He can be stupid and get it as well.
Well, no, he just doesn't have. Maybe he doesn't see the big picture in terms of how a hockey player is going to end up. And he doesn't have the
takes
patience to
credit
keep
for
them.
sending Hall of Famers, all pros elsewhere. Someone's got to take credit for that.
Yeah.
He's got a lot of assists. That's for sure.
So let me throw a name out there. Everybody knew that Milbury was, well, you would have thought he was on tenuous ground, but I mean, he did survive probably 3 or 4 years longer than people thought. Right now, Boston is getting hammered. They lost 6-0 last night. Last game, they lost 6-2 to San Jose. That should have been a big rivalry. Thornton missed most of the game. Mike O'Connell, should he be next?
Yes, he absolutely should be next, without a doubt. There's a number of general managers right now completely on the hot seat, and certainly Mike O'Connell has not done a good enough job. Anytime you trade your main guy like Joe Thornton anyway, besides other deals.
Just for that alone.
Yes, just for that alone, besides the other deals.
I just don't understand that deal. I still cannot fathom that deal,
Well,
especially due to the fact that he's now in the Pacific Division playing us 8 times a
Yeah,
year.
we don't like him over in our side.
And you know what,
But
guys?
you know
I think
what?
it's.
I just don't see it.
I think it's that much more of a travesty that it's an original 6 team. It's a place where hockey does matter. You look at the AHL, the college level in Boston. People love the sport. They just don't love the Bruins, and who can blame them?
Mike O'Connell, I got to concur with Darren. I agree with you.
I love the accent. That's a mixture of Chicago and Mass right there.
So you mentioned other general managers. Who else do you think is their job's on the line right
I
now?
think there's pressure on Larry Plow in St. Louis.
I think Doug McLean in Columbus. I mean,
Really?
they've been a really underachieving. Well, I mean,
Very
they've got
difficult,
firepower.
Difficult position.
Now that
though.
Rick
I mean,
Nash is back, though,
Right.
and obviously he's
But
a
as Rick
powerful
Nash, your
player,
whole
it makes
team,
a
you've got
difference.
Nikolai Zherdev, you've got Sergei Fedorov, you've got Brian Burrard
Not a
on
big
defense.
fan of that Jaredov.
No, you don't like Zherdev. I really like that kid.
No, not a big fan.
Craig Patrick in Pittsburgh. I mean, he was the guy during the summer. I mean, he broke down and cried when they got Sidney Crosby. As we talked about before, it looked like that franchise was going like this. And then he goes out and signs Ziggy Palffy, and they say that's good offense. John LeClair, good offense as well. And now they're way down. All the moves that he made appear to be the wrong move. Should his job be in jeopardy?
Well, absolutely. And he's a loyal man, and I think he's a very patient man. But I think some of the signings ended up, obviously, a couple of his veterans really threw Eddie Olczyk under the bus.
Got to wrap
Chara.
this up. We're out of time. Guys, thanks for joining us today. This was a ton of fun. I hope everybody will come back. Bring your lightsaber. Bring 2 lightsabers next time we
appreciate
come
you
back.
bringing it. I really do.
As we're
Thank
going to
you.
break, we always want to know your thoughts, and I believe this is